Hello, welcome to this demonstration of the Let's Get Reading sheet, which is not in the 2020 primer pack, but will be in there for 2021. Here is the trombone version of the sheet. I'm going to play it for you first. Hopefully you can actually see me now. The first few videos we've done have been really dark in here, but I've been brave enough to let in some natural light. So there's a good chance that there are weird reflections going everywhere, but you know what, maybe that's the price we have to pay for you to see my beautiful face as I play the trombone. So, we will talk about the new musical symbols on your sheet after I play it for you. I have the rock drums video that you'll find linked at the top of the description. I'm going to hit play. I'll let it play for a couple of bars to feel the tempo, the speed, and then I'll play the first exercise. Here's how it sounds. And then the sheet tells me to take a 30-second rest, so I'm going to do that. It doesn't matter if it's exactly 30 seconds or not. Basically, you're just giving your lip muscles, your body a chance to relax and be refreshed, and your mind a chance to think about what you're about to do next. Now, instead of one long note, like in the long note games, you have 4 crotchets in each of these bars. Your goal is to make each of those 4 notes as clear as the one before it. So we're really going to think about using our tongue, ta, 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 or even as if you're saying tu, 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 to get 4 smooth, clear notes. Let's see how that goes. I'll rewind the video back to the beginning. Same deal. This is the second half of page 1. So here is page 2 of the Let's Get Reading sheet. This is T, 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 ta, ta, on every single note. Here we go, trombone. Easy as that. So, altogether, looks like a lot of playing. Including the 30-second breaks, it's probably only 2.5 minutes of playing, but it makes everything that you play after it sound heaps better because you've focused on smooth air, clear tonguing, and hopefully your C's and D's are coming out higher than your B flat notes. If not, think about that keeping the shape nice and tense as you go up. So, what are the new symbols that we need in order to play this exercise? Let's have a look. First thing you can see is a stave. We know that sometimes these 5 lines are called a stave, some people call them a staff. It is exactly the same thing, doesn't matter. We know that usually in our music for trombone and baritone, at the very beginning of each line of music, you would see this curly symbol. That is called a bass clef, bass meaning low sound. So when you see this, you know it is music written for an instrument that sounds lower rather than higher. Next thing that you're going to see a lot on the page are notes that instead of being coloured in with a stick on them like a crotchet or joined together like a pair of quavers, just look like that. Not coloured in, circle on its own, no stick or stem coming off it. This is called a semibreve. I'm going to write the spelling for that above it. Semibreve with a V. Semibreve. Easiest note there is. We've already played these in our long note games. If this is the tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. A semibreve, ta, off. 2, 3, 4, ta, off. 4 counts of note, that's it. That is a 4-beat note. The very first one you see on your page is written on the second line of the stave, or second line up, and it has a flat sign on it. Just to make your life easy, I even wrote its name underneath it. Anytime you see a note written on that second line up with a little flat on it, that is going to be B flat. You should be awesome at playing B flats by now because we've played a million of them in our long note games, in our memory songs. When we first put the whole instrument together, we've been practicing B flat. If you go from a note with a line through it to a note that sits between the lines, we call that inner space. If you go from the line note to the space above, you are playing 1 step higher, and that means that the name of the note will be 1 step further in the alphabet. So A, B, C. If that's B, that must be a C. And then from that space note in the second space up to that line note, B, C, D. We're just following the alphabet, moving upwards. Now here's the weird thing. It does not matter what shape any of these notes are. They could be coloured in. They could have sticks coming off them. They could be joined together with another note. There could even be a couple of notes above or below each other. They could even be the wrong shape entirely. You could have like a diamond. In trombone, you're unlikely to see a diamond, but they do exist for other instruments. The shape of the note doesn't matter. All that matters is where it is sitting on the 5 lines of the stave. So that diamond note there, with the power of my alphabet skills, I could work out what the name of that diamond note is. Now here's the one other thing that we may not have spoken about before. If you've learned a musical instrument before, you may know this already. The musical alphabet only goes up to G. What that means is if you had a piano laid out and you went A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, after the G up there, you would go back to A again. And then you'd continue up. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And you just keep going and going and going. For us, that note there, B, C, D, this space would have to be an E because we're following our alphabet upwards. This line would have to be an F because alphabet. That G is in the space. Oh, whoops, it's a G. The diamond is a G because it's in the space above F. For now, it's probably not even too hard to just memorize where the first 3 notes live. So instead of having to think about the alphabet and counting up and down on the lines and spaces, you can just memorize second space up is B. In our case, it's B flat. Second line up is B. Second space up is C. Third line is D. You can just memorize where they sit. It's not too hard. 3 notes, play the exercises, sing the note names, you will be fine. There is one thing that makes reading trombone music at this point, or baritone music at this point, more confusing than reading trumpet music. That is, when you have multiple flat notes in a row, the first one you write the flat sign for, but any other of that same note that come between there and the bar line, they are also played as flats. For example, ignore the G up there for a moment, but if this was a bar of music with 4 counts in it, we'll make this B flat go for 1 count, B flat, C is 1 count, because I'm colouring it in and putting a stick on it, D is 1 count. The stick on D can go up or down, doesn't matter, it just depends on whatever else is around it to make it look neatest. You can make it go up or down. And then if there's another B at the end, or even, let's join these together. So we've got B flat, C, D, B. That last B there, if I want it to be a flat, I don't need to write the flat sign on it because this flat sign infects any other Bs up until the bar line. So you'll notice on your sheet music there, whenever you've got 4 counts of notes or 4 beats, there will be a bar line to separate the music. That's not because you put in a separation when you play it, it's simply to make it easier to read. So in this case, we've got B, C, D, B. That last B is still going to be B flat, even though it doesn't have the flat sign on it. And that's because this is very infectious. I'm not going to make a virus joke about this, but that B flat determines that any other Bs up to the bar line are also B flats. So to finish up, if you look at page 2 in particular, it's really obvious here where you've got all the TTs. You've got a whole bar of TTs on the second line up. They are all Bs, obviously, because we've labelled it. They are all Bs, but only the first one has the flat sign because that flat sign infects all the other Bs until there's a bar line. So you're not going to go B flat and then to B natural, which is a note we don't even know how to play yet. You're just going to play them all as first position Bs. T, 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 ta, ta. They are all first position B flats, even though only the first one has the flat sign. Then, after the bar line, you need to refresh the flat sign. So you add a flat to the first B in the next bar, and then that infects any other ones in its bar. This is an analogy I've used for a long time, the idea of flats infecting, or sharps even, that's another symbol, infecting the other ones of that note in the bar. Right now, with coronavirus, it feels a bit inappropriate. Maybe I'll have to re-record this video later on. So, I hope that all makes sense. Use the drum backing, annoy your family with loud drums and play along, aiming for a nice controlled sound with no gaps between your notes. Hopefully you can get it sounding even better than mine, because hopefully you're practicing more than me at the moment. Good luck, have fun. I look forward to hearing the results of your practice. Enjoy.